I just read and read and read. I probably read 5 to 6 hours a day.
In order to really become successful, you're going to have to take time and put in the work to try to achieve your goals. A lot of people think that they have to do it all by themselves, but that is not the case at all. You are going to want to have people around you who are willing to help you and are dedicated to the cause as much as you are. You want to have people that are going to be around you that are encouraging you, but also letting you know when you do stuff that isn't right and stuff that's going to really hurt you in the future, and people that truly care for you, that want the best for you, so they'll let you know the things that hurt, but they'll also praise you for when you do things well. It's all about having a solid support group around you of people who truly, truly care about you in their heart of hearts.
The one I've always followed is to be greedy when others are fearful and to be fearful when others are greedy.
And want the best for you and the best for themselves, because you don't want somebody who just hates themselves but really wants you to do well, because then that's going to be an awkward situation. So you want to find a great group of people who really care about you and cares about themselves, and you can pour into them and they can pour into you, and it'll just be a great system of flow in which everybody loves one another and you all want the best out of each other, and you will challenge one another to reach the next step of their goals each and every single day, striving to improve upon what you did the day before and constantly bettering yourselves throughout your journey of life.
If you think you're going to be a lot happier if you've got 2x instead of x, you're probably making a mistake. I've seen anybody that if they have a lot of people is other than happy, and I've seen some very, very wealthy people that they give testimonial dinners to and name schools after and everything. Nobody loves it. By far the best investment you can make is in yourself. For example, communication skills. I tell the students that come that they're going to graduate schools and business, and they're learning all these complicated formulas and all that. If they just learn to communicate better, and both in writing and in person, they increase their value at least 50%. If you can't communicate, somebody says, it's like winking at a girl in the dark. Nothing happens, basically. And you have to be able to get forth your ideas. And that's relatively easy. I did it myself with the Dale Carnegie course. Some people wish I'd taken a shorter course now in terms of my talking later on. But it's just hugely important. And if you invest in yourself, nobody can take it away from you. The second thing, which I'll get a certain criticism for not living it, but I do tell students, that if I gave you a car and it'd be the only car you get the rest of your life, you take care of it like you can't believe. Any scratch, you'd fix that moment. You'd read the owner's manual. You'd keep a garage, do all these things. And you have to mean it after a while. Otherwise, it doesn't mean anything, obviously, when you do that. And you're gauging a response from someone else. Also has their own calculus and has their own internal political considerations and so on. So it doesn't mean it's a game that shouldn't be engaged in, but it's a dangerous game. I've had a consistent way of negotiating, and that has its advantages. Probably has its disadvantages too, but I just say what I'll do, and I don't do anything else. So people really know that's what I mean, and they can decide whether what I've said is acceptable or not, but they know that I don't go through a game. Now, there's lots of people in acquisitions that really like to play games, and they're used to it in their own business, and it's their way of doing it, and that's fine, but it doesn't work with me. We watch the prices of things we do more than current events, because in the end we aren't buying them because what's going to happen next month or next quarter. We're really buying them because we think they'll be good businesses 10 years from now. If somebody came to us with a good business today, we'd buy it, and we'd buy it regardless of what's going on in the tariff situation.
I bought my first stock when I was 11 years old. It was the first quarter of 1942, shortly after Pearl Harbor. I spent $114.75. Three shares, $114.75. If I put that $114 into the S&P 500 at that time and reinvested the dividends, think of a figure as to what it would be worth today. The answer is about $400,000. So if I, as a little kid, had taken that $114, I'd saved a shovel of snow or whatever I'd done. $400,000 today, one person's lifetime. That isn't me. It is the huge tailwind.
We don't have much, we don't spend any time, Charlie and I spend no time thinking or talking about what the stock market is going to do, because we don't know. We do know sometimes that we're getting very good value for our money when we buy some stocks or some bonds, as it may be. But we are not operating on the basis of any kind of macro forecasts about stocks. And there's always a list of reasons. You gave a few. There's always a list of reasons why the country will have problems tomorrow, but there's always a list of opportunities which don't get mentioned quite as often. Overall, I'm an enormous bull on the country. Over time, this is the most most remarkable success story in the history of the world, if you think about it.
Important thing is to be able to define which ones you can come to an intelligent decision on and which ones are beyond your capacity to evaluate. You don't have to be right about thousands and thousands and thousands of companies. You only have to be right about a company. I met Bill Gates on July 5th, 1991. We were out in Seattle, and Bill said, "You've got to have a computer." And I said, "Why?" And he said, "You can do your income tax on it." I said, "I don't have any income. Berkshire doesn't pay a dividend." He said, "Well, you can keep track of your portfolio." And I said, "I only have one stock." I said, and he says, "It's going to change everything." And I said, "Well, will it change whether people chew gum?" And I said, "Well, will it change what kind of gum they chew?" And I said, "Well, then I'll stick to chewing gum and you stick to computers." I don't have to understand all kinds of business. There's all kinds of business I don't understand. But there's thousands of opportunities there. I don't worry too much about the things I don't understand. If you understand some of these businesses that are coming along and can spot things.
Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and go ahead and drop a comment down in the section below.